Hi up, I'm Eric.
And I'm Grace. We're the Wandering Ravens.
We are an American couple with a deep passion for all things UK. We've been on a quest over the last couple of years to learn everything we can about the fascinating British Isles. And today our quest is leading us through the incredible and diverse world of UK accents.
I am super excited for today's video because in the past, during the series, we've reacted mostly to the accents of celebrities and people like that. But today we're doing something a little bit different and we're going to be reacting to the accents of our subscribers. To kick things off, we're going to be listening to an example of a Chelsea/South Kensington accent by Freddie.
Mate, did a cheeky say-no's run earlier, picked up some butter, kale and cheese, chucked those in the old fridge. Now it's probably time that we made the veggie dairy smoothie. Good vits. Tastes like shite.
Tastes like shite.
Tastes like shite.
Tastes like shite.
He has a way of making shite sound like super posh.
Like a clean and pretty thing. It's a polished shite.
Did a cheeky say-no's run earlier.
Okay, what is a say-no's run? Did he say say-no's?
Say-no's.
Say-no's.
Oh,
Did a cheeky say-no's run earlier.
Sainsbury's?
It's probably Sainsbury's. Is this slang for Sainsbury's?
Butter, kale and cheese, chucked those in the old fridge.
I think something we should do in this video is try our best to imitate each accent that we hear.
oh no.
So not in like a mocking way, but in like a genuine attempt.
Can we do it?
The veggie dairy smoothie.
The veggie dairy smoothie.
The veggie dairy smoothie.
I think I did it better.
I think you did do it better.
I make a better Freddie than you.
Next up, we're going to be listening to Marley, who is from Dundee, Scotland.
I went to the shop today for butter, kale and cheese. These delicious items are new in my kitchen. Time to make my classic dairy and veggie smoothie. It's full of good vitamins but often tastes like cake.
Oh, that is really cool.
Yeah, so several words that she says extremely differently would be make and now.
Time to make.
Time to mock.
Time to mock. So that pronunciation of the A, definitely something we have not heard before. And then now?
Delicious items are new in my kitchen.
She says now almost like new, like N-E-W.
These delicious items are new in my kitchen.
New in my kitchen.
And of course, now we gotta imitate it.
Time to make my classic dairy and veggie smoothie.
Time to mock my classic dairy and veggie smoothie.
Time to mock my classic veggie and dairy smoothie.
I think I did better.
You
Okay.
did. All right, 2 points for Grace.
Next up, we're going to be listening to Josh from Stoke-on-Trent.
I'm really excited for this one because we've actually got 2 Stoke-on-Trent accents. We got one from Josh and another one from his partner Sharon. This is going to be an example of how within one UK city, you can have multiple accents, which is something that is very new for us Americans. For example, we're from Seattle, we talk like this. Now we're here in Chicago, and people here in Chicago sound basically like we do, whereas in the UK, people sound different street to street. So we're gonna see an example of that. First up, let's listen to Josh, and then we're gonna listen to Sharon, and see what people in Stoke-on-Trent sound like.
I'm just nipping up shop to get some butter, kale and cheese. They're pretty good, and they are quite nice and stuff. But I'm gonna chuck them in the kitchen, and when I get back and stuff, I make a meal fave and stuff, which is a dairy and veggie smoothie. They're full of goodness and stuff like that, but fairness, it just tastes like crap.
The first thing that strikes me about this accent is that it sounds extremely friendly and warm.
Yeah, I feel like if coffee had a voice, it would sound like this.
That
like
is
a hot
true.
cup of coffee.
Josh, you have the voice of coffee.
But getting into the accent, this is really different from what we've listened to so far. For example, what is he saying here?
They're pretty good, and they are quite nice and stuff.
I have no idea.
This is one of those accents where, when you talk about yourself, you would say me instead of my, perhaps.
Make a meal fave and stuff.
Yeah, where they pronounce the my as me.
Yeah, like me mum or me school or something
Meal
like that.
Meal fave and stuff, which is a...
Another dialect difference is how he says nip up shop.
I'm just nipping up shop to get some butter, kale and cheese.
I haven't heard that before.
I've never heard that either.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's popping round the shop, though, just the same.
Oh, true, yeah, pop around, nip around, something like that. Now we have to try to imitate this.
I'm just nipping up shop to get some butter, kale and cheese.
Now I'm just nipping up shop to get some butter. Now I'm just nipping up shop to get some butter, kale, and cheese.
I'm just nipping up shop to get some butter, kale, and cheese.
Brilliant. Let's hear what Sharon's accent sounds like.
I nipped up shop today and I bought some butter, kale and cheese. It's proper nice and it's put it in my kitchen. I'm going to make my classic dairy and veg smoothie. It's got a lot of good vitamins in it, but it tastes proper rank.
I really noticed the way that Sharon pronounces I's, as in the case of classic and it. She said classique
yes.
sort of thing
Eat.
and eat.
I'm going to make my classic good vitamins in it.
I didn't hear that in Josh's accent.
I nipped up shop today.
She also said nipped up shop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that must be regional slang in Stoke-on-Trent.
It's proper nice and it's put it in my kitchen.
Proper nice.
Proper nice.
I like that. I don't think I've heard that combination before. Proper nice.
We've heard right nice. Oh, it's right nice.
Yeah, it's right nice.
But no, it's proper nice.
It's proper nice.
I like that.
One more difference between Sharon's Stoke-on-Trent accent and Josh's is I think Sharon's is easier to understand. It's more of a pronounced, maybe less of a dialect, more of an accent, whereas Josh's seems to be tipping into where it's just almost a dialect rather than an accent.
It's got a lot of good vitamins in it, but it tastes proper rank.
They're full of like goodness and stuff like that, but you know, fairness just tastes like crap.
Now we are going to be listening to Shiona, who is from Belfast.
Today I went to the shop for butter, kale and cheese. These delicious items are now in my kitchen. Time to make my classic dairy and veggie smoothie. It's full of good vitamins, but often tastes like rubbish.
I don't think there's an accent that makes you smile quite like the Northern Irish accent. You know, it just sounds happy. We loved our time in Northern Ireland. We made a bunch of videos while we were there, so if you want to see some of those, make sure you go check out previous videos. But the whole time, we just could not get over how incredibly cheerful and upbeat the accents there are. Now, things that stand out to me about Shiona's accent is the way she says,
For butter, kale and cheese.
hey, unfortunately we had a little data corruption, so that part of the video got lost. I'm just gonna shoot it again right now. What I was gonna comment on was how Shiona says butter with a D sound instead of a T sound, similar to how we here in the States say it.
Butter, butter.
Most UK accents pronounce it with a strong T, so butter, butter. So this really stood out to me because this is the first time I've heard a UK accent where they pronounce the D like I do.
These delicious items are now in my kitchen.
Okay.
Now.
It's the word now.
That's very unique, I think, to Northern Ireland, and it does seem very strongly pronounced here in the Belfast accent.
Are now in my kitchen.
Can you imitate it?
Oh, it's so hard. I think I would say no.
I remember we came up with a trick to say this. Isn't it like saying the word koi?
Koi, like a koi fish.
Like a koi fish. Like now would be noi.
No. How is
How?
it still sticky? Is it worse than when we started? Now we're going to listen to John from Falkirk, Scotland. I don't know if it's pronounced Falkirk.
Yeah. Let us know if we if we got that wrong.
Today I went to the shop for butter, kale and cheese. These delicious items are now in my kitchen. Time to make my classic dairy and veggie smoothie. It's full of good vitamins, but often tastes like rubbish.
Some pronunciation differences that really stand out to me in comparison to the other accents. One is the word dairy. So we would say dairy, but John says,
Dairy and veggie smoothie.
yeah, the R is more of a D sound. Dairy.
Daddy.
Dairy.
It's kind of like a weird rolled R mixed with a D.
Yeah.
I also think I noticed the way that he said butter.
To the shop for butter,
Butter?
Oh.
Yeah, so that one is really different.
butter.
Okay, so do you think you can imitate this?
Maybe.
Today I went to the shop for butter, kale and cheese.
Today, I went to the shop for butter, kale, and cheese.
Today I went to the shop for butter, kale, and cheese. That's the dog, not me.
He's like, that made me so uneasy in my tongue.
Now it's time to go back down south. We're going to be listening to Jack in Liverpool.
This is a representation of a kind of Scouse accent. Today I went to the shop for butter, kale and cheese. These delicious items are now in my kitchen. Time to make my classic dairy and veggie smoothie. It's full of good vitamins, but often tastes like rubbish.
I'm just gonna say, that accent sounds incredibly friendly. I cannot imagine anyone with this accent being a bad person.
One thing that immediately stands out to me is the way he says kitchen.
Oh,
The
okay.
intonation and the pronunciation are very different than the other ones we've heard so far.
These delicious items are now in my kitchen.
The word starts out like this, then it goes down, and then goes back up. Kitchen.
These delicious items are now in my kitchen.
The stereotype with Scouse accents is the K's sound like
Yeah.
like chicken.
Or like buch.
Ugh. So he has it here, but it's a lot softer.
Yeah, definitely softer than most Scouse.
A kind of Scouse accent. Kind.
And now we're going to get a taste of a Welsh accent from Beth in Blaenau-Gwent. Yeah, I definitely said that wrong.
Today I went to the shop for butter, kale and cheese. These delicious items are now in my kitchen. Time to make my classic dairy and veggie smoothie. It's full of good vitamins, but often tastes like rubbish.
So, it's very different from the others, but I can't really put my finger on what it is.
Exactly.
Time to make my classic dairy and veggie smoothie.
Maybe it's the intonation. All the Welsh accents that I've heard so far, they really sound like a bird singing in the morning. But then when it comes to the actual word differences, I have a really hard time differentiating it.
Yeah, the only word that really stood out to me was the word dairy, and I'm still not even sure why.
Dairy and veggie smoothie. Dairy.
Ooh, good catch.
Yeah,
You're right.
It's
yeah.
quite different.
Yeah.
For butter, kale and cheese.
Butter, kale, and cheese.
It is like a song.
Could you imitate a Blaenau-Gwent accent?
I don't know. Let's see.
Time to make my classic dairy and veggie smoothie.
Time to make my classic dairy and veggie smoothie.
Time to make my classic veggie and dairy smoothie. We're gonna turn this one over to you guys. We're struggling to identify differences between the Blaenau-Gwent accent and other UK accents. We know it sounds different, but we can't really tell how or why. So if you know why, drop those down in the comments below. Now we're gonna nip up north to South Yorkshire and listen to an example of that accent from the YouTube channel Banta Orange.
Hello from South Yorkshire, England, obviously. Today I went to the shop for butter, kale and cheese. These delicious items are now in my kitchen. Time to make my classic dairy and veggie smoothie. Ooh. It's full of good vitamins and often tastes like rubbish.
One word that immediately pops out to me is kitchen. So we'd say kitchen, but he pronounces it almost as two separate words.
These delicious items are now in my kitchen.
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 Really strong emphasis on the ki and the chin.
Kitchen.
A word that really stood out to me was the word items. So he uses, I think, what's called a glottal T, which is kind of like dropping it. So he says items.
These delicious items.
The way he says often has a glottal T as well.
Often.
Question for you guys though, in the next video, what sentence should we have everyone say? Obviously in this one we had people talk about butter, kale and cheese in kitchens, but what are words that people seem to say differently around the UK? Write a sample sentence for us down in the description and maybe we'll use your idea in the next video.
And before we end, a huge thank you to our newest Chuffed Virtuoso patron, Winter. We couldn't do this without you.
Again, I'm Eric.
And I'm Grace.
We're the Wandering Ravens.
And we'll see you in the next video.
Laters!